Yes, Stormy Daniels wore a bulletproof vest to get to court to deliver salacious allegations about Donald Trump because she feared what some nut might do to her. You're a porn star, aren't you used to that? But anyway, speaking of stars, despite my proclivities, as a good joke by the way, as a content creator for the political arena, I shan't pass up the opportunity, as our world gets ever more imbecilic and insane, to pause and enjoy the sight of that putrescent cesspool known as Hollywood, denigrating further into the dustbins of irrelevancy where they rightfully belong. Enter Stephen King, a once prolific and respected author, now an absolute twat. Take a look at the following post of his on the Twitter. If Trump killed a dog, his approval ratings would probably go up. Obviously a reference to the Kristi Noem thing from a few weeks ago, dime a dozen outrage, etc, etc, it's forgotten within a few days. But this particular brand of asinine behavior on social media is rather fascinating. In this cycle, it's called TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome, the evaporation of any logic or rationality the moment the name Donald Trump is heard or presented. Frankly, it's the evaporation of logic or rationality at the mere mention of damn near any phenomenon that's not favored by the current regime, or as we currently call it, being liberal. But this kind of behavior has nothing to do with Trump. As a matter of fact, I think if you really tried to stretch it, you could even make the case this has nothing to do with politics even. Trump is not a syndrome. He's a hyperactive symptom of a more recent phenomenon, I would say. I'll try to explain my hypothesis here. If you were to look at human behavior in any given society, one of our main psychological drives is the desire to be seen, to be heard, to be valued for something. So take a moment to consider the technological revolution of the 20th century, specifically with regards to the introduction of radio and motion picture. This allowed individuals to be broadcasted, to have multiple different people listen or see someone in real time without being physically present. As far as human connectivity goes, this is essentially magic, groundbreaking in terms of communication, in a way I don't think we really understand. And so whatever mechanisms or people, corporations, state entities, or whatever have you wields this communication apparatus has an enormous amount of power. And so anyone who wishes to exert influence, propaganda, or wishes to be seen or heard, I suspect primarily driven by ego, is striving to get in front of a microphone or camera. You have the birth of television and radio studios, cinema, Hollywood, enter the age of mass media. And this medium holds the monopoly for many a decade, many a generation, up until the internet. And the internet has come in and rocked the world like a hurricane. It's demolished the old monopoly and revolutionized with a new model. The landscape is now entirely different. The currency of attention is still very much there, but because the old stale monopoly has been essentially shattered, there's this ungodly demotic volume of new participants, broadcasting across multiple platforms, offering a large variety of content, ranging from text to still pictures, to the attention-destroying TikTok, to shorter-range content, a bit longer, the multi-hour podcasting, and so on. The propaganda monopoly has been weakened, or accelerated, depending on who you ask, I suppose. And so what you have are the remnants, these pathetic boomer types of all ages, frankly, really. The likes of Stephen King, Robert De Niro is a good example as well, who grew up getting high in this constant attention-seeking recognition environment. But now that model is largely gone and continues to dwindle further into obscurity. Those old drug-addicted boomer types still want their fix, but they have no clue how to get it in this cycle. The type of landscape is completely foreign to them. And so the only way those desperate old has-beens can be seen is to waffle off the most boring regime talking points about Donald Trump, the likes of which you would see on any of the fading legacy media outlets. This is why I said TV pundits and mainstream media talking heads are not real people. They're basically just actors. You could literally replace them with actual Hollywood celebrities, and nothing functional would change in the regime. I mean, come on, does anyone think anything would change if you replace, say, Chris Hayes with a different lesbian? Oh wait, no, that's Rachel Maddow. My bad, I get them confused. They do look a lot alike. Except Rachel Maddow looks more masculine, which is funny for so many reasons. Where was I going with this again? Oh right, Hollywood dying. You can see this in the dwindling figures for the award shows, for example. Hell, the most shared thing about the Oscars is the decline of people watching it year after year. Whenever you see those events now, 90% of people I wouldn't even be able to name rambling on about political issues, give me a freaking break. That is a room full of desperate attention seekers coping with the fact no one gives a crap about them anymore. More people know YouTube personalities at this point than they do Hollywood celebrities. Hollywood isn't about money, it's about attention, and no one cares to pay attention anymore because they're freaking boring. Tweeting the kind of crap liberal wine moms would knock out 2 bottles in watching The View. Very much operating on the principle of any publicity is good publicity. They've been reduced to operating on the lower 3S echelon, sex, shock, and stupid. Old Hollywood legacy reduced to nothing more than the whims of the witless peasantry, regurgitating mindless verbal pokes to remind the world they still exist, even if it is simply to be hated for it. How pathetic. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.